Thanks for, again, taking some time for us this morning. First question, the two high schools that were impacted by positive COVID cases, DA and Fletcher, are they still set to reopen sometime this week?
Yes, both Fletcher and DA are set to reopen at the end of this week. Fletcher High School will open on October 29th and Douglas Anderson will open on October 30th.
Okay. Can you walk me through the process that happened in those two schools and any school that would be forced to shut down? Walk us through the process of what happened to clean those schools to get them ready for students again.
Well, the process that would first lead to a school of closure is working with the Department of Health. It is the percentage of students that are impacted. If we have to close too many classrooms and it will impact other parts of the school up to 20% or over, that is the threshold that would lead us to closing a school. Once the school is closed, our custodian group goes in and does a deep cleaning, especially all of the classrooms and all of the common areas where students are walking through the hallways. If the gym has been impacted, a deep cleaning will take place in the gym, locker rooms. So that school has been through a thorough cleaning, both schools.
The district is using those aerostatic devices, right?
Yes, we are using the aerostatic devices with the spray. We also have the microbial spray that has a lasting effect up to 90 days. And all of our schools just went through a second iteration of that spray for the second 9 weeks.
Okay. Okay, great. I have any other schools, I know we had a couple of cases at Sandalwood. Have any other schools come close to that 20% threshold?
Not at this time. Sandalwood did have a number of cases. I believe it was 7 cases, but those cases were contained and the impact was not to 20%. The larger your school is, the more students have to be impacted before we would move to closing the school. But every school that has a case, wherever that case, a classroom or the major areas of that school could be impacted that night, that those areas go through a deep clean.
What grade would you give the district right now for how you've handled positive cases?
Well, most times when people assign a grade, you have a standard and you know what you're grading against. This is the first time we've ever been through something like this. So when I think of our staff and our students, the commitment to the protocols that we have in place at school, I definitely would give them high marks for that. It's when we leave our workspace and when we leave school, what we're doing when we're home, those are the times that we really have to hunker down and continue those strategies, such as frequent hand washing, social distancing, wearing your mask. At school, many of the students, they don't even need to be told. Or the one thing that I do hear, especially with our little ones, push it above your nose, but they are wearing their mask. I was at a school yesterday and walking through the different classrooms and did not see a single student not wearing their mask, did not see a single class that they weren't spread as far apart as they possibly could, saw hand sanitizer. We're just making sure that we provide the resources to our schools and ensure that everyone is very much aware of the protocols and that those protocols have to be followed daily.
With the recent outbreaks being linked to events that happened off campus, student events that happened off campus, is the district, I have to imagine, every day in school reinforcing that, okay, don't have parties, guys, don't go to parties, don't have big events. I have to imagine that was a little bit frustrating when you heard about the off-campus parties, but what's the district doing to kind of reinforce that message to students?
We just put out a video with our partners at UF Health Hospital and sent home information reminding parents that, we need to continue these strategies outside of school. That video for students was talking about wearing your mask. I know that our high school students, this is very challenging for them. They want to get back to the normal things that they do, whether it's after school or in school activities. And I think they can do some of those things, but they just need to remember it's best to have something outside. If you're going to do an activity, do it outside, implement social distancing, wear your mask, wash your hands, continue to do those things that are going to help mitigate the spread of COVID-19. It's very much like when I had to remind my sons to wear their seatbelts when they were high school students and they were driving, and every morning it would be, don't forget to put on your seatbelt. And, that look they would give me, but I needed to keep reminding them. And so right now, that's what we are doing. We're just constantly reminding them, we know that you can't just stay home, but when you do go out, follow the strategies that are going to help keep you safe.
Are you still teaching?
Yes. I wasn't teaching yesterday when I was in the school, but I want to be out in the schools, seeing what's happening in our classrooms. That's how I help stay in a sense of normalcy, by focusing on what we're here to do, which is teaching and learning. But whenever someone invites me out and gives me an opportunity to speak to a class or teach a lesson, I'm there.
What's the biggest concern you're hearing from teachers right now?
I think the biggest concern teachers have is that the holidays are coming and people are going to travel, people are going to attend events, and what's going to happen after the holidays, and are we going to see a spike in cases? I think every day, all of us who work in spaces where we're interacting, whether it's with the public or interacting with students every day, it's always in the back of our minds about what we're going through, this global pandemic. And I'm just so proud of our teachers that they are moving beyond that and doing their job and ensuring that our students have every opportunity to receive a high quality education.
Has the district changed the way it reports positive cases on the dashboard yet?
We are changing the way we're reporting cases. Currently, we report cases when the case is closed. That's when DOH has done all of its contact tracing and has notified those families that could be impacted. Now, we are reporting when DOH accepts the case. And we're going to make some updates to our dashboard. It is going to take our IT department a week or two to implement those updates, but the dashboard still reflects cases that impact our brick and mortar schools.
So, in other words, as soon as there's a positive case reported, confirmed, then the dashboard will be changed, as opposed to waiting until the entire tracing process has ended.
That is correct.
Okay, so the change is still a week or so away? IT's still working on it?
No, the change on the reporting actually will start tomorrow. The way we report. We're just going to do some updates, some enhancements to the dashboard.
Got it.
And that's going to take a
Okay,
week
so starting tomorrow, if there's a confirmed positive case, the dashboard will reflect it within, a day or two? The program starts tomorrow, but
the day it's confirmed, it will be entered. And as it states on the dashboard at 10 p.m., it's updated every night at 10 p.m.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Real quick on the half-cent sales tax referendum, if it passes, you've talked about the community advisory board essentially to kind of help oversee. Is there any discussion now? We've talked about it being appointed, or who would make up that board? Excuse me.
At the next board meeting, the school board will pass their resolution indicating the organizations that will have membership to that oversight committee, as well as each board member will have an appointment to that oversight committee. The district will also be on the committee, but non-voting members, and the oversight committee, the foundation of that oversight committee is to ensure that the district is utilizing those tax dollars coming from the half-cent surtax are utilized for the projects that are in the master facilities plan.
Okay.
Which people can see at our website, ourduvalschools.org. You can see the plan, you can see individual schools, you can see the budget, and you can also see the timeline.
And pictures of the problems the district is dealing with as well.
Yes.
Okay, so is there a number for board members for the, is there how many people will serve yet?
Each board member will appoint one person from their district to serve on the oversight committee, as well as there's a list of organizations that get a member to assign to.
Like the Public Education Fund, okay. All right.
Yes.
I will look that up. Real quick, just about Halloween. Halloween's coming up this weekend. So is the district telling parents anything about costumes? Are kids being allowed to wear costumes? Maybe Friday of this week. What's happening this week or this year amid COVID-19 and Halloween?
Well, our normal process is that we actually don't have normally Halloween parties at school. And we are encouraging parents that if you're going to go trick-or-treating, again, follow those safety strategies that will keep you and your child safe. At our schools, if they usually are doing like literary costumes, we will still allow them as long as students are still following our safety protocols. So if the costume would not recommend costumes that have a mask, because students will still have to wear their facial covering. And our schools have been working very closely to monitor what's happening in the school. Again, we are still trying to keep school as normal as possible, but always keeping those safety strategies at the forefront in part of the decision making process of what we can do.
Okay.
So I think schools will have much smaller versions of activities on Friday, ensuring that students can, enjoy that day and as well keep them safe.
Okay, so really costumes that already met the previous policy, the current policy still apply, nothing covering your head because you have to wear your mask anyway. Anything about candy, any kids being told don't bring your Halloween candy on Monday?
Well, we normally don't let them bring their candy to school on Monday, and that still will stand. Nor you keep your candy home so that you can enjoy it with your family.
Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add? You want to talk about, or how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. We have an amazing group of individuals who come to DCPS, whether it is a school or district office, ready to work each and every day. And it's amazing. There are bright lights in the midst of this pandemic. And each day I'm fortunate to get to interact with those bright lights.
All right. Any other big things coming up, policy changes, anything you want people to know about?
Well, we're welcoming our 2 new board members. They are installed on November 17th. And we are excited about the strategic plan that the board has been working on, and hopefully towards the end of November, the beginning of December, that they will be wrapping up their community meetings and ready to pass their strategic plan. And in January, that plan then turns over to the district administration, and we start working on what are the strategies to fulfill the goals and the vision of that strategic plan.
And 6 days until Duval voters vote on that half-cent sales tax referendum. Your last pitch to them.
Duval County has the oldest schools in the state of Florida, and the decrease in capital funding over the last 12 years leaves us short over $300 million, and we have over $300 million in backlog repairs. Our students, they truly deserve to be in schools that can give them a 21st century education, and we are very fortunate in Duval that our teachers and our administrators are filling that gap as our facilities don't meet that expectation. And we are only 4 points away from being ranked an A-rated school district. And so when I look at our facilities, it's time for our facilities to be ranked A-rated.
Okay. Dr. Greene, thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.